Yeah. So
Okay.
you are starting. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, guys. Let's get started. So, as usual, we'll have three parts to this session. Just a second. Let me share my screen. So, first we'll do a recap of what we have studied till now, and then I'll have a quiz just to ensure that okay, whatever we have covered in past three sessions, are following it, and then I'll go with some lab. Okay. Okay, guys. Yeah. So. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. I think I've just okay. So till now, what all we have learned in the three session. So our first session was all about the introduction to AWS, why people are moving towards cloud platform, and then we studied about okay 5 pillars of AWS architecture framework. So what was the reason behind having those pillars? They were just to tell you the best practices, things to keep in mind. For example, if we'll talk about security, so we have to ensure that okay, whenever we are giving any access to any user in AWS, we have to give that person least privileges. Then we talked about okay, if we cannot observe anything, we cannot improvise. So then AWS, it gives you certain services which helps us to monitor things, like for example CloudTrail. So it helps to monitor the account activity which is happening. Okay, then you had a CloudWatch which was able to monitor okay health of your system. Yeah. Then we studied about load balancing. Okay, there are like various ways we can have a load balancing in place. Why do we want to do a load balancing, and how is AWS helping us in the load balancing? So earlier when we didn't had AWS, when we were provisioning everything on premises using machines, that time we had to think about the capacity. Okay, how much transaction we are expecting on our system. But with AWS, we don't have to take care of all these things. AWS is there, it would either scale up or scale down based on the transactions which is coming in your account. Okay. Then in second session, we talked about AWS Management Console, which is kind of a web interface which allows you to access various services of AWS. Okay. So we learned about various ways to search any services in the account. Okay. Then we talked about okay, instead of web interface, if we programmatically, if we want to access AWS services, what do we have? So we talked about okay, you need a access key and secret ID to access your AWS services. Also, we have been talking from very beginning that we have to do a mind shift, that now anything which you need from AWS, you have to consider in form of a services. For example, if we talk about database, so which services you can use, you have a RDS in place. Okay, if you want to do a DNS lookup kind of a thing, which service you'll use? You'll use Route 53. So everything in AWS boils down to services. For example, storage. So here for storage, what service we have? S3. Okay. Now let's come to our part three, where we talked about IAM, which is identity and access management. So IAM service, it helps you to create user group, helps you assign policies. So when we talk about policies, we study there are managed policies, like these are the policies which are created by AWS. Then you have a custom policy which a user can create using the managed policy. Okay. Then third, we talked about inline policy. Okay, which is bound to a role or a user. Then we talked about okay, there are various component of IAM infrastructure element. For example, we have principal, we have resources, we have actions. Okay, we have authentication, authorization. So all these things we studied in our part three. Okay. Now, what else we did? We did small exercise, like I created a group, I assigned user to that group. Okay. And we talked about okay, how does policy look like in AWS? We saw it's a kind of a JSON format wherein we have a concept of allow, deny. Then we also discussed the policy evaluation logic, wherein I told you that explicit deny would always take a preference. Okay, for example, a user is associated to two groups, and in one group there is allow policy associated for one resource, and in another group for same resource we've given access as deny. So which would take a preference? Deny. That is, user won't be able to access that resources. Okay. Now it's time for small quiz just to see, okay, how we have done in last three sessions. Okay, so we'll go one question at a time. You guys can write your answer in a chat and then we can discuss. Okay. Okay, so let me, yeah. So you can write your answer in chat. So let's take the first question, which is name the pillars of AWS well architected framework. So we talked about 5 pillars. So do you remember those 5 pillars? If yes, just write down their names. Let's see who gets it right. So this we talked in our first session which we had on AWS. Come on, give it a try. Okay, doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. Let's see, whatever you remember, you can just write it in chat. Am I getting any answers? No. Okay, yeah, I see in a chat. Okay, performance. Okay, Adibayo is right. Yeah, Vinod, nice, very nice. So we've covered 3. Okay, 4 in fact. One more is left. Yep, that's right. And those of you who were not able to give the answer, go back to part 1 of our series. There you'll see, okay, we've talked about observability, security, operational excellence, cost efficiency, and why we need pillar and what is theory behind those pillars written in that session 1. Okay, let's move to next question, which is, yeah, so this is like you have to answer in true or false. So AWS says we should give maximum privileges to user. So what do you think? Is it true or false?
Not true.
Yes, it's not true. It's false. So AWS says you have to grant user least privileges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Adibayo is getting most of the question right. Nice. So we can create 50 user at a time.
No.
No, Vinod. Yeah, it's false that we cannot create 50, but we cannot create 100 users also at a time.
It's one at a time.
No, 10 at a time. I'll show you. Okay. So it's 10 user at a time. Yeah. Okay, nice. Next, let's move to the next question. Name, yeah, right, Vinod, it's 10. Name the 3 types of policies which we have in AWS. I just told you in our recap. So we have got 3 policies. What are those? Think. IAM is a service. So using that service, we create policies. So what are those 3 policies? Okay. 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 So those are your managed policies, custom policies. Yeah. There's one which tells you about identity level policies and resource based policy. And then there are another set which talks about what kind of policies which you can create. So those are like you can have managed, you can have custom, and then you can have inline policy. Okay. Okay, let's move to next question. Users are charged for creating user role policies. So are we charged for creating or using IAM service? Correct. Yeah. We require access ID and secret key to log into AWS Management Console. So have you guys tried login to Management Console? If yes, what you had to provide? Was it access ID and secret key or something else? Yeah. So Vinod, what do you say? Do we require access ID and secret key? Okay, so I'll give it to you guys. Yeah, no, we don't. Yeah, so see, till now in this session, I've been using AWS Management Console. So you would have seen I'm always using user ID and password. Okay, so access key and secret key, they comes in picture when we want to programmatically access any services of AWS. Okay, okay, let's move to seventh question. Name the different identities in IAM. Okay, I'll give one, user. Okay, now there are three more. Yeah, user group. No, not permission. Role, user group. Yeah, yeah. Role, federated user. Okay. Yes, yes, Adhika. Okay, now let's move to the last question, which says, okay, so we talked about IAM infrastructure element, wherein I talked about principal, resources, authentication, authorization, action. So there was one component which we called it as principal. So what exactly we mean by principal in layman language? Okay. Vinod, what do you have to say on this question? Okay. So principal are your doer. So it could be IAM identity, which is like your user, group, role, or it could be a resource, or entity accessing another entity. Okay. So principals are the entity which is trying to request for any resource. So if a user is trying to request for any resource, then at that time principal is your user, IAM user. If a resource is trying to access another resource, then your resources, for example, from EC2, you are trying to access SV. Excuse me, guys. Yep. So your principles are basically doers. Okay, guys. Nice. Thank you, Adibayo and Vinod. You've been very participative in answering these questions. Okay. Now let's move to some lab sessions. Okay. Yep. So the first lab session, which I'm going to cover, this can be done in a single account. Okay. And what is, okay, let me just share it for you. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So our first lab is on IAM custom and managed policy. Let's see how we can create custom and managed policy. So we'll take an example. What the concept here is, for example, there are two users. Okay, for me, for example, I have my account, and Vinod and Adibayo, they are two users which I have created in my account. Okay, and I have created two instances in my account. I want to give Adibayo access to start and stop that instance. I don't want Vinod can go ahead and see what all EC2 instances are there in the account, but he cannot start or stop that instance. Okay, so let's get started. Did you guys get the question? So the idea is there is account by the name of Jyoti. Jyoti is going to create two users, one named as Vinod and second as Adibayo. So Adibayo would be able to see any instance which Jyoti has created, but Vinod would be able to see, but he won't be able to start or stop that instance. Okay, so how are we going to manage this? We'll be using AIM's custom and managed policy. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I'll create with the same name which I have been telling you. So see, I've logged in to Jyoti's account. Okay, I can select a service EC2. Okay, let's first create some instances. Just little slow. Okay. And remember this, we are in North Virginia. Okay, so I'm going to create 2 instances. These 2 are already there. I'll create 2 more. Let me go for free tier only. So free tiers are one for which you won't be charged. Okay. So let's randomly create any. Yeah, I'll just do review and launch because we don't want anything else. Yeah. All this will cover in detail when we are going to talk about EC2 instance. For now, you just understand I've created 2 instances in my account. Okay. Let's go here. So let me name it as TTC1. Okay. Yeah. Let's create one more instance. Yeah, let me name it as TT. Okay, so we've got 2 instances in our account. Okay, there are 4. So let's focus on these. Okay, let this come into a running state. Okay, now what I want that I'll go ahead and create. Meanwhile, this it's getting up. Let's go ahead and create 2 users. Okay, so one named as Vinod and another as Adipai. Okay, so where do you get option to create users? In IAM service. Okay. Let's go ahead and create a user. So see here, I'll tell you how many users you can create at a time. So add user. Yeah, so you see this option. So this is enabled 10 times. So you can create 10 users at a time. For now, I want to create only 2 users. So let me, Adi, excuse me if I wrote your spelling incorrectly. Vinod. Okay. Okay. I'm giving you both AWS Management Console access. I am generating your password. So the password is TTC in caps @123. Okay. There has to be a smaller case. So let me just, okay, this is the password. User must create a new password. No, for now, I'm just disabling this. Okay, so I've created 2 users, one named as Adibayo and another, I'll just keep this spelling handy with me. Okay, guys. Next permission. Okay, right now I'm not attaching any permissions. I'll do it individually. Review. This user has no permissions. So we talked about a role, right? That AWS says that by default, we should give user a least privileges. So if I don't associate anything with the user, see, you don't see any permissions associated with it. Okay, now let me create these 2 users. So I've created these 2 users. Now let's go ahead and create a policy. So that policy would consist of 2 parts. First part, it would help a user to start and stop the instance. And second, a user would be able to see all the instances in an account. Okay. So let's go to policy. Let's create a new policy. And you want to apply this policy for which service? So EC2. Okay, what action a user having this policy, what all he or she would be able to do? So the user would be able to start the instance. Okay, start the instance and stop the instance. Okay. Yeah. Now this is very important. Resources. Okay. So with this you can control, like, okay, do you want a user to access all the EC2 instances of an account, or you are applying this policy for a specific instance? Okay. So for example, I want to apply this. I had created two machines like TC1 and TC2. So I want to give Adibio permission to only start and stop TC1. So Vinod won't have any access to start and stop that instance. Adibio would have, but Adibio would be able to start only the TC1 machine, not TC2 machine. Maybe TC1 is my production machine. So he cannot, the TC1 machine is my test machine. So he can start and stop it. But TC2 is my production machine. So I don't want him to start or stop that. Okay. Because he's not my admin user. Okay. So here we can select specific, and then there are three parts to it. One is region. So region is any instance which has been created in this account across any region. So for that, the user with this policy would be able to perform start and stop action. Okay, so I'm saying okay. Then instance ID. So from where do we get this instance ID? So for that, I just need to duplicate my screen. Let's go to reset instance. Are you guys following till here? Okay. Thank you, Vinod, for acknowledging. So, so these are running. Let me just stop them. And okay. And let me just copy this instance ID. Okay. Instance ID copied. Yeah. Next tab. Let's name it EC2 manage. Okay. So let's read this policy again. So with this policy, what we are giving permission is a user. There is this instance ID for a machine TTC1. So the user who would get this policy assigned would be able to start and stop instance ID this. So which is corresponding to your TTC1 machine. Okay. Now I'm creating a policy. Okay. So see, I have created user, I have created policy, or in the policy, I have specified what a user can do. So I have told that user with this policy would be able to start and stop a specific machine whose instance ID we've added. Okay. Now let's go ahead and associate this policy with my users. Okay. So I'll associate this policy, or we can do one more thing. Okay, instead of going user by, okay, let's go ahead user by okay. So now what I'll do, I'll associate this policy with Adibio's user. Okay, and I won't associate this policy with what do you say, Vinod's user. Okay, so add permission, attach existing policy. What was name of my policy? Let's search this. Yeah. Add permission. Yeah. One more policy I have to give it to Adibio. See, Now Adibayo has got a write permission on EC2 instance, but I have to give him the read access also. Okay, read access as in when he logs into his account, he should be able to see those instances. Okay, so let's add one more permission. Now this time I'll go for the manage permission, which is EC2 read. Okay, let's see where is read access. Yep. Yep. Okay, now let's log into Adibayo's account now. Okay, so copy this. Let's another copy to note. I see something on the chat. Can't we provide this? Oh, sorry. Can't we provide this read when creating EC2 directly? Initially shows write and provide the starting. So we will provide read there. Do we need to make this? Oh, okay. You can do that also, but I just wanted to give you an example of custom and manage policy. So I first created a custom policy wherein Vinod, I gave you just start and stop instance, and then I added another policy for EC2 read only access. I could have clubbed it also, but I just wanted to give you the idea, like how do you associate a manage policy. Okay, guys. So let's log in here. Okay, so this is the account. Now, what was the name of the user? We had named it as Adibayo. Our password was T in caps TTC@123. Okay, login. Yeah. Instance. See, you see instance running 0. Why? Because we are in Ohio, but where I had created North Virginia. Okay. Now you see 4 of them. Okay, so all are stopped. Okay, let me try to start TTC2. Okay, see, you get an error. So why we are getting this error? Because Adibayo can only start which instance? He can start only TTC1. So how did we take care of this? By a policy which we created, wherein we had explicitly mentioned that Adibayo can play only with this machine. Okay, now let me start. See, now he can start this machine and he can stop this machine. Any question, guys, on this? If not, we can move to our next lab, but at least take 5 minutes to revise what we did. So it was simple. We created, let me just write it for you. We created a policy. Okay, then this policy was associated. This policy was specific for one instance, which was TTC1. Okay, now we created 2 users, Adibayo and Vinod. So we said Adibayo can, and this policy I have associated with Adibayo user only. I could have done it with Vinod also, but for now, I just wanted to let you know how these policies work. So whatever policy I created, I added that policy with Adibayo. So now that policy said Adibayo can log into his account. He'll be able to see all the 4 instances which Jyoti had created in North Virginia, but he would be able to start and stop only one machine. Which is that machine? The machine which I had specified while creating a policy under a resource section, wherein I had to give a region, I had to give a account ID, and I had to give a instance ID of that machine. Okay. So is it clear for both of you? So like, did you follow, okay, what are policies and how policies help us to manage the permissions and accesses? Any question, guys? You can write it in the chat. If it's all clear, then I'll move to the second lab. If it's not clear, we can, since we are just two people, we can do again a hands-on session on this lab. Okay, I'm following, so no question from me yet. Okay, thank you. Okay, and what about you, Vinod? You are following, right? The question is clear to you, right? Okay, I'll take that as yes. Okay, next is little complex lab. So what I'm going to do in this lab, okay? So I have two accounts. Okay, one, for example, there's in an organization, there is a separate account for a development environment, and there is another account for testing account. Okay, so I'll be taking two accounts, one named as Jyoti and another one named as Mayank. Okay, so what will I do? I'll try to access the resources which has been created in Mayank's account. Okay, using Jyoti's account. So okay, so for that, what is the first step I have to do? Okay, so I want to access resources which has been created in Mayank's account using Jyoti's account. So I'll create new user for this activity. Okay, so let me first create a group. Okay, let's go ahead and so we have practiced policy, we have practiced user creation. Let's do this activity by using a user group. Okay, so again, where will I get this user group? Creation option under IAM policy. Okay. Let's create a group. Okay. What do we name this group? Let's name this as EC2 read-only access so that we understand, okay, um, the user which would be there in this group would have access to EC2 instances. So let's give this name as EC2 or my group. Okay, let me create a my group. Okay, I'm creating. Am I going to use the existing users? No, let's create a new user just to avoid. Okay, and which policy I want to associate with this group? Let's associate just EC2 read-only access. That user can. EC2. Okay, so EC2. No. Okay. So what policy I'm associating with this group? It's Amazon EC2 read-only access. That is, users in this group can only see the instances. Okay. Let me just give some interesting MTTC. AWS, and just save it here. Next activity. Okay, guys, I've created a group. Okay, the group is created. Now let's create two users for this group. Uh, First user, let me create it as, okay, let me name this as user1 just for ease of access. User2, again AWS management console, custom password, I'll give the same password, TTC@123. Do we want to change? No, we don't want to change. Okay, now do we want to associate these users to any group? Yes. What is that group? It's TTC AWS group. Okay. So now both user 1 and user 2, they are associated with TTC AWS group. And since they are associated with TTC AWS group, they can only access EC2 instance. That too, they can just read it. Okay, they'll be able to see how many instances are there, but they won't be able to perform any write accesses. Okay, just in case I don't forget, let me just write it. So user 1 and user 2 are associated. Their password is this. Okay, guys. So if you go to user group, you go to this. How many users are associated? 2 users are associated. And what permission is associated with this group? It is Amazon EC2 read-only access. Okay. Now let's go to a second account. Okay, whose resources this user want to access. So what is the name of my second account? It was Mayank. So what? Oh. No, it's think I this Mayank's account. Okay, guys, give me a second. This is my husband's account. Let me ask his password. Or if you guys have created any account, you can share it with me later on. You can change your password. So Vinod and Adibai, by any chance, have you guys created any account in AWS? Vinod, have you created account? Oh, okay. Okay, guys. So just give me a second. Okay, do you have his access or you don't have the credentials? Okay, so give me 3 minutes. Let me call my husband. Okay, guys. Sorry for this. Okay. Now let's create a say S3 bucket in this account. Okay. So we are going to create a simple bucket. Let's create a simple bucket. One TTC. Let me just. I think bucket version. Yeah, I think let's create a basic one. And this has been created. This bucket is associated with North Virginia. Okay. Yeah. So let's revise what all we have done till now. In Jyoti's account, I have created two users, user one and user two. They are associated to a group, which is TTC AWS group. That group has a policy, a managed policy associated with it. What is the name of that managed policy? It's EC2 read-only access. That means user one and user two, they can log into Jyoti's account and they can see all the instances, EC2 instances, which are running in that account. Okay, now I've come to Mayank's account, wherein I have created a bucket. The name of the bucket is bucket one TTC. Okay, now let's create a role. Okay, why do we want to create a role? So now any user who want to access the S3 bucket which has been created in this account, they should have that role associated with them. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a role. I'll see if there is anything in the chat for me. Okay, there's nothing. Let's create a role. Now with role, what all you can do four things, I guess, using the role. Create a role. See, you can assign role for services. I was telling you, right? If an EC2 instance want to access an S3, so you can have a role assigned to a EC2 instance by which EC2 instance would be able to access S3. Then second is another AWS account. Now with role, what you can do is a user from one account can access anything which is belonging to another account. Okay, so what we are going to select here, we are going to select another AWS account. Okay, now what is the account ID? Okay, so from where I'll get the account ID? I'll get it from here. So this is the account ID. Okay. So why do we need an account ID? We are telling that users which belong to this account ID would be able to access the resources from Mayank's account if they have this role, which I'm creating right now. Require external ID, require MFA. Let's skip this for a while. Okay. Okay, now what policy which we want to associate with this? Read only S3, read only. Okay. Next. Let's name this as S3 read. Okay. This rule allows user to access S3 bucket created in this account. S3 read. Just see, do you see this trusted relationship? So I've added the account ID. So now this account ID is trusting this account. Okay. Or for now, a user would be, any user would be able to access S3. The next part of this lab here also will do same thing what we did in our first lab, that we mentioned a specific resource, right? We mentioned a specific instance ID in our lab one. So similarly, in this role also, we can give a specific user's name who can access the S3. Like for now, user one and user two, both of them would be able to see S3 bucket. But if I want only user one can access this S3 bucket, so what I have to give? I have to give his ID. So what do we call ID in AWS? We call it as ARN, which is like Amazon resource number or a name. I don't remember what. And so every resource which we create in AWS, they get this ARN. Okay, so this is how AWS recognizes the resources which have been created in your account. Okay, so let's recap the first part. Okay, so in Jyoti's account, there are two users, user one and user two. They are associated with TTC AWS group. That group has a permission only for EC2 instance read-only access. Okay, now let's come to Mayank's account. What I have done in Mayank's account, I have created S3 bucket. Okay, and then I've created a role for reading those S3 buckets, and then I've created I've added the account ID of Jyoti just to tell that okay, all the users in Jyoti's account would be able to access this S3 bucket which I have created. Okay, yeah. Now let's go to my Jyoti's account group. Okay, S3. Let's associate a inline policy. So I have to give a link both ways. Okay, so I've told the other account that trust this account ID. Okay, and now I have to tell this group that okay, this group has also access. Okay, so the users in this group can read the EC2 instances. Also, the users in this group can assume a role. I'm giving them a permission to assume a role. Okay, so permission, add an inline policy. And we talked in our previous session, like how do you assume a role using a access key and secret key, which is generated at the runtime. Okay. So what is the name of that service? It's XDC. Okay. Specify the action allowed in the let me just give the user can assume a role. Okay. Oh, sorry. Assume a role. Okay. Resources. Let me give all resources. Okay. Request condition. Okay. So let me just tell you what this request condition means. That you say that okay, Jyoti's user can access Mayank's detail only if they are coming from a specific source IP. Okay, so that means if you're in office condition, so you can do a cross account access only when you are in office a VPN. Okay, so you can do all those settings as well. Now review policy. I hope this has been created correctly. Okay, and let's name this as S3 read policy only, just for okay, guys, let's revise again. So we have done 4-5 steps till now. The first step is we've created a group named as TTC AWS group. With that group, I've associated two users, which are user one and user two, whose password we have kept as TTC at the rate 123 for ease of access. Then I have assigned a read-only access of EC2 for that group. Okay, and then I went to Mayank's account. I created a S3 bucket and I created a role. In the role, I selected another AWS account and I added the account ID of Jyoti in that role. Okay, and also I told that the user who gets this role would be able to read the S3 bucket, which has been created. Then again, I came back to Jyoti's account and I gave this group a permission to assume a role. Now, any user who is associated with this group, he has got two policy. One is your managed policy, which is Amazon EC2 read-only access, and second is your inline policy. What that inline policies allows user to do is to assume a role. Okay. Now let's go to this user. Okay, dashboard. Let me copy this. And I can use Safari. Now what I'm going to do is from user 1 of Jyoti's account, I'm going to access S3 bucket of Mayank's account. Okay. What is the name? We gave name as user 1, password we kept TTC@123, sign in, not now. Let's see what user 1 can do in his own account. Okay, let's do that. Let's see, can he create a bucket in his account? What do you guys say? Will user 1 be able to create a bucket in this account? Vinod, Adibayo, what do you say? Will user 1 be able to create a S3 bucket in his account? No. Why? Because we have given him only read-only access of EC2 instance. Yeah. Let's see, will he be able to access EC2 instances which was created in Jyoti's account? Yeah. Yeah. See, he can see the EC2 instances because what managed policy was associated with user 1, it was EC2 read only. Okay. Now let's see if this user 1 can access the resources from Mayank's account. Okay. So you see this option, switch role. Switch role. Okay, so which account here I have to give? I need to give Mayank's account. Okay, what was the name of the role which I had created? It was S3 lead. Switch role. Why it's giving me the error? I'll check later. See, bucket 1 TTC. So did you guys get it? Now a user from Jyoti's account is able to see the resources which has been created in Mayank's account. So this was our lab 2. So I hope with these 2 labs you will be able to get some practical insight on IAM. Okay. So let's just quickly revise because we covered a lot of things. Yeah, right, Vinod, you need to practice. Yeah. Okay. So let's quickly revise our lab because I see Sergey joined us. Okay, so Sergey, repeating this just for you. So today we did 2 labs. One was on IAM custom and managed policy. So via this lab, what we did, so there was this account, say the name of that account was Jyoti. So in that I created 2 users, one named as Sergey and another as Vinod. And what kind of policy I assigned with Sergey's user is Sergey can start and stop a specific instance which has been created in Jyoti's account. So this is what we achieved by using our lab 1. Okay. Then we move to our second lab. So in this lab, for example, Sergey has 1 account and Vinod has 1 account. Okay. So Sergey is kind of a production user and Vinod is kind of a test user. Okay. So from a test account, I wanted to access certain resources which has been created in a production account. Okay, so for this, what did I use? I use the concept of a role. Okay, so what all I did in the role, okay, I went to a test account, which is like Vinod's account. I created two user. With that user, I associated a group, which was I created a group named as EC2 read only access. That permission I just given to showcase that what a user can do in his account. Okay, and with role, what he is able to do in another account, like with with his permission, he can just see EC2 instance, but he cannot see anything which has been created in S3. But by assuming a role, this user was able to see S3 bucket which was created in a production account. Okay, so we had to do certain setting like create a role, now to then create a group, to the group give a permission. So one, give a EC2 read only permission, then second we had to give a inline policy which was to assume a role, that you are telling that users in this account, apart for seeing EC2 instances, they have a permission to assume a role. Okay, so what do we need to assume a role? We need a access key and secret ID. So what service in AWS allows us to have this access key and secret ID at the runtime? It is STC. So I had to assign STC service to this policy. Okay. So when you will see the recording, you will be able to follow like what all we did in these two labs. Another level you guys can go ahead and practice this, which you can take it as assignment and do it. Whatever setting I did with that, any users in account in a test account can access S3 bucket, right? But I want to say no, don't give this access to all the users. I just want a test lead to see the S3 bucket. Okay, so how would you achieve it? I can give you a hint. So when you go ahead and create a role, there we have selected all resources, right? What you have to do, instead of all, you have to give a specific resource, and in specific resource you need to give the ARN of test lead. So now only test lead would be able to access your S3 bucket. Yep. Okay, guys, this is all I had for today. What we are going to cover in the next session is S3. So we'll move to S3. Also going forward, when we'll cover 2-3 more services like S3, EC2, we'll cover more things on IAM role. Okay, just to make you well versed with IAM.
Thank you so much, Yuti. I find this very useful because some months ago, I think about 2 years ago now, I configured Amazon S3 for my team,
Okay.
Nigeria, for my business. And listening to what you're saying now kind of rings the bell a lot. And I'm going to go back and look at those things as well, because I think from what I've just learned today, I might have made some mistakes as well. So I need to go and check it again and have another look. But thank you so much for this wonderful session. It has been helpful even to me. And thanks to the guys that were able to attend. It doesn't really matter that there's not so many of us. I mean, you can't force people to learn. But I have learned today, and I hope you guys have learned as well. And we're very grateful for our teacher, Yoti. And I personally hope you keep going. Because I'm enjoying the classes, and I hope people will find out that you're really teaching skills that people really need these days. So thank you so much. So, okay, that's it, guys. Until next weekend again. Hope to see you. You take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a good day, guys. Bye.